Good morning, Drive Radio fans. Richard Rush here with John Rush behind the camera for this review. And today we are reviewing the 2014 Lexus GS450h. It's kind of a mouthful, but that's basically abbreviated terms for the hybrid version of Lexus's GS model.
Right.
And it is we actually just reviewed the 350 a couple weeks ago, and we're going to kind of put the two together because they're very comparable cars. It's they're the same car. One's a hybrid, one's not. Same 3.5 motor. One just combines Toyota's, because Lexus is a Toyota, the Toyota hybrid drive technology along with the 3.5 liter that you get in the 450h that you're not getting in the regular 3.5, so the GS350. Now, tell them about the price. The price on this is tops out at, well, not top, for this particular model that we are driving today is $71,000 compared to the other GS we had, which was in the mid-50s a couple weeks ago. And the base price for this, not including luxury packages, and I'm going to use my cheat sheet here, is just under 60s, $59,600, which is the suggested retail price with luxury of, you know, adding on a luxury package, so on and so forth. You're at that 70, which in our opinion is a pretty hefty price tag for your basic sedan.
But it's not your basic sedan, because the thing is awesome.
It's not. It is great. So with that being said, let's take a look around. And the first thing that you're going to notice is this beautiful red paint color. And we were commenting on the way, it has a little bit of a sparkle to it. It glimmers. It is a great car. I will say this for Lexus. My only complaint, the front of this car is not very exciting. It looks kind of like a shortened Ford Fusion.
Well, they've gone with the spindle grille throughout their lineup, and that was something Lexus did several years ago. You can see the blue insignia here, or the
blue accents.
The accents around the insignia is what I should try to say. You know, shows that it's a hybrid. This car's got cool lighting at night. You can see the LED that runs around the projector beam lights, which is really cool.
It does, and actually it's weird. This car almost has like a circular around it, where if you're driving through some trees at night, literally 90 degrees to your right and left, you can actually see the lights hitting those, which is really nice. So,
okay, stop real quick, Richard. I do want to show everybody one thing that we have never had really a chance to do, and I thought we'd take some time right now and get into this. Luxury cars. Higher end cars, vehicles that are made really well. One thing you can start to see, and we've never talked about this, but if you can see right here, I don't know if I can get this in here, but you can see a weather strip right along the edge of the hood, which is keeping all of the junk inside the hood, etc. Makes it very clean on the inside. And also makes it really nice when you close it. They do the same thing on the rest of the doors. If you notice here, if I can get a good picture of this, you know, get my head out of the, there we go. You can see the same thing down this crease. Richard, in fact, open the door real fast and I'll just show folks that. You can see there's a seal built into the door here. They do the same thing back here. Nice seal. So when you actually shut this door, everything's nice and sealed up. That keeps less dirt and debris inside. It shuts very nice. We've never talked about that in luxury cars, but you won't find that on a regular Toyota. You're not going to find that on a regular Chevy Impala. You know, those are things that happen on high-end luxury cars that make it really, really nice.
It really is, and it's very quiet compared to some of the other cars we drive. Even we've driven some trucks recently. They're just not as quiet, which they're not designed to be. This is a luxury car. It's designed to be nice and quiet the entire way. So it really is great. So you can see not only accents are here, but the accents are actually in the 450h.
That's right.
The blue. One thing we did show on the other GS, which I'll show on here, is the truck is a automatic open. So you just hold it down and it automatically opens up. And we will point this out. It is a hybrid, so the trunk space is going to be a little bit less. We kind of showed you in the last review. However, it's not as little as we would have imagined.
No, it's actually a lot farther, or I shouldn't say farther. It's deeper than what I figured it would be. And a lot of the hybrids, you lose a lot of trunk space. They've done a good job here. They've put all those batteries back behind the rear seat, and they've still given you a nice big trunk. This is a great car, by the way. We'll talk about it when we get into the driving portion here in just a minute, but this car flies, runs really well. Again, some of the things we talk about Toyota and Lexus doing, the fluting on the lenses, you can see that there as the trunk's actually suck shutting also. You can actually see that. Nice wheel package. This is a beautiful car, by the way. It's got good lines, looks good. You know, is it worth 70 grand? You know, you'll have to be the judge of that. I know folks that own them, that love them, that swear by them. This car is a real, believe it or not, for a hybrid, it's a real hot rod. Rear wheel drive, actually fun, works well. Richard, let's go for a drive real quick, talk to the people about that as we're driving it, and we come back, we'll do the interior. How's that sound?
Sounds good. Okay fans, we're going to take off on the driving portion, come back and do the interior, but really this car, it does drive very nice. We can kind of show you that, and we are going to show you how the car does fluctuate, and really it's seamlessly between turning the engine on, using the battery, using the electric motor. It really is a great ride, very smooth. So that being said, we'll take off, and the shifting on the Lexus is very, very smooth. You have this, it's really easy. If I do switch to the sport mode, you can kind of see how on the right it'll show what it does, which it's very informative. Go to Sport Plus, it shows it does different things with the coil springs, so on and so forth. But we'll go back to Eco, which just gives us our typical that. And so we're on battery, and then when I kick it in a little bit more, the actual gas engine will kick in, and then when I brake, it'll turn over to showing the car's charge.
We've got a hill that we go down here in just a minute. We'll show you that as you go down the hill, the regenerative braking is always supplying juice back to the battery. You can see that this car right now has got less than half battery life on it. As we go down this hill and we just, you know, coast, brake down it, whatever, you're seeing that it's actually charging the battery. So those lines going back into the battery show you that it's actually charging the battery as we're driving down this hill. And if you have a really, really long hill, it'll actually charge it enough. We actually see the bars on the battery scale itself come up. And then of course as you go back uphill or you start using the battery, that will diminish. But it's does a really great job of, you know, supplying battery juice back in. I was in rush hour traffic yesterday afternoon, drove it in there, and even with, and again, that's actually the best case scenario for this car. Rush hour traffic, stop and go traffic, you're using a lot of battery, average 37.8 miles to the gallon. I've been as high as 38 on the car. It just does really, really well. It's a great car, drives well, sits well. I like it. The downside is this particular model that we're driving, rear wheel drive only. So here in Colorado, might be a little dicey in the wintertime. It does have a snow mode down here, which you can see. There's a button for snow, which kind of gives you a little different traction support for that. But it's a great car. Runs well, drives well, handles well. You know, this is really a hard car to give back. I really enjoy it. I love driving it. These Lexuses are fantastic. I know a lot of guys knock them for different things, but I like it. It's a great car, fun, enjoyable. They do a great job. I love the beautiful dash, the stitching that they put on it. If you can see that white stitching here, they just do a really nice job. They've got really nice creature comforts, and they've just done a fantastic job. It's a very comfortable car to drive. A very reliable car to own, by the way. One of the most reliable cars to own as far as customer satisfaction goes. So with that, Richard, let's stop driving here in a minute, and we'll go back and go through the interior of it and finish her up.
Sounds good. All right, fans, hopefully you enjoyed the driving portion of our review. Now we're going to take a look in the back seat. As you can see, plenty of room. Not the tallest, probably 5'9", 5'10" on a good day, but plenty of room.
That seat's back all the way, by the way.
It is. It's back all the way, but Lexus has done a great job of kind of making a knee space. Something we will point out here, it does have rear view or rear controls or rear fan.
Rear AC.
Rear AC, exactly. But something that most people don't notice is when you pull this down, it actually gives you full control over everything. Your seat heaters, you can change the station up there. This right here is for the screen in the back, which we'll show in a little bit, that you can actually put up and put down the screen. You can control the temperature. You can put your auto seat heater on based on the temperature.
Plus there's a console there.
Exactly, and there is a full console in here. So really, this back seat is
fully functional for somebody just sitting back here for a long drive. Really nice.
So really, with that being said,
very nice. Let's go to the front. And again, nice seals on the door. We talked about that a little bit ago. They do a nice job. I'll climb in. And by the way, both seats fully adjustable. Passenger, drivers got what, 3 positions for the memory, I believe.
3 different positions. Yep, you can set them differently. All the doors or all the windows are manual, and we'll kind of turn the car on here. Once again, it's a hybrid, so when you power it on, it's not really going to make any noise like it's starting up, and it has a great dash. This does have Lexus's full 10-inch or more display. It has the dual different displays where you can set whether you want.
We've talked about the Intune a lot, so we won't get into a lot of that. It's one of our favorite systems, the way it's controlled off the joystick down here. This car, by the way, we were driving, it was hard to talk about, but it does have 4 modes: Eco, Normal, Sport, Sport Plus, which this car's a real hot rod, by the way.
And which we'll show you kind of right now. We weren't able to do it driving, obviously, but with this car, when you change, it's in Eco mode right now, and even if you're normal, if you can see the left-hand dial, when I go to Sport, it actually changes the dial or the gauge to an RPM. So then if I go to Sport Plus, it just changes a little bit more, and then I go back to Eco, and I'm now back in Eco mode, which really is helpful and kind of just a cool little feature. So if you did want to get up and go and race that hot rod next to you, I think you'll be able to do it. Fuel mileage wise, as you can see, we've been able to average about 38. This car is rated for 31 miles to the gallon, and I will say personally, which I have a heavier foot than you do, Dad, I was able to average about 34, 35 in this car. You've been able to average 37, 38 in this car. It's very nice wood trim all around. It has nice auto cool and auto seat, which basically it goes off of the temperature that you set for your zone. So if you were to go up really high, then it would automatically know, okay, well, it must be cold out. He wants the seat heaters on. If it's low, it's hot, let's turn on the vented seats. All your basic steering controls, it does have automatic lights, automatic wipers, different brake holds that you'll find in the Lexuses. And it's not one thing we didn't mention, if you kind of want to go to the back, Dad, it does have the screen which will go up. It has the screens on the sides of the
keep the back end cool for kids, etc.
Exactly. So it really is great. And then when I do put this car in reverse, which we showed in the other GS, that actually does go down, which is a safety feature. Really, really nice. Great sunroof. Does have LED lighting, which I'm not quite sure why all the manufacturers haven't done that yet, but because I know when I was riding with you as a younger kid, you would get mad when we would have the lights on because you couldn't see. Well, with the LED lights, you can have all the lights on in the car and still see, no problem. But I guess, what did you feel like? We can talk more about it in the driving section, but what are your impressions, Dad?
It's a great car. I mean, I did talk about it when we were driving, what a great car it is, and I really enjoy it. I like it. Fantastic car. You have to decide whether you can afford it or not, but if you can afford it, this is a fantastic car. So
it really is. And with that being said, thank you for kind of tuning in today. Once again, we are on the radio here in Colorado every Saturday morning, 10 to 1 on AM 560. So if you're in Colorado, tune your dial all the way to the left to AM 560. If you're not in Colorado, you can go to 560thesource.com, click the listen live button, listen to the entire show there. Also, if you want to catch us on YouTube, we are live broadcasting on YouTube, Drive Radio, no space in the search bar, and you can catch all of our other reviews there. So with that being said, thanks for tuning in today, and hopefully you enjoyed the review, and thanks for tuning in.